Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants. Power does what it wants.
Hey guys, I never in my life dreamed or thought that I would be an auditor. I've watched some of those videos, but after today, yeah.
Yeah, but this is one thing about it. He knows the rights. You want me to go over there? Alan.
I mean, I didn't start recording immediately, but when I asked you for your badge, when I asked you for your badge number,
that's fine. Stop walking up on me.
when I asked you for the CAD number,
If you want to, you can walk back to your vehicle until my supervisor gets here.
am I being detained?
Don't walk up on me.
I'm not.
Don't walk up on me.
I asked for the CAD number, and he says, I'm not giving you that. He said, oh, you want to be like that? You need to speak to my supervisor. And I said, all I'm doing is asking for the CAD number, and he doesn't want to give it to me. And now he's like telling me he's escalating the situation because I asked if I could get out of the car, and he said, no, I couldn't. I said, am I being detained? And he said, no, you can get out of your car then. And I said, well, I was just afraid because you told me to get back in a minute ago. I said, am I being detained? And he said, no, I'm not being detained. And then I asked him to de-escalate a little bit. And then he told me I could walk back to my car, but I can't walk this way. So now we're waiting on the supervisor. The supervisor's on the way. But I didn't start recording until he said he wasn't going to give me the CAD number and I needed to talk to his supervisor. And he started getting, I asked for the trainee's badge number, but he said he's a trainee. But I feel real threatened at this point because he's telling me if I move that something's fixing to happen.
Well, when you start getting like how you acting in today's society right now, when we walk up to your vehicle and I told you the reason why I pulled you in, then you want to go ask all these questions. That's fine. You ask any question you want to.
But then you immediately with the supervisor.
But when you start tipping and walking towards me, no, that's not going to work.
I asked you if I could get out. Did I not?
My lieutenant is on his way.
But did I not say, can I get out? And you said initially
I told you to hold up so I can make sure that the situation is going on.
You said, no, you can't. And I said, well, am I being detained? It's on video. And then I asked you, was I being detained?
It's fine. Just like, he'll be here in a minute.
He'll be here in a minute.
So we're good.
And when you told me I wasn't detained, I said, well, am I free to go? You said, yes.
What did I do? I backed up.
And then you opened.
We're not going to have the court on side of the road. Hey, you got a problem with it, you go to the station, or you can tell my supervisor when you get here. Just aggravated because we have to come all the way down and walk you down to catch up with you. And then you attempting to try to get out of the vehicle.
Because I was going in to eat.
But we had the lights on the whole time, and we seen you look in the window. So you knew we was behind.
I didn't look in the rearview mirror.
Well, you might have.
Not till I pulled in here. When I pulled in here, I was like, well, I was getting out of your way because I thought you was going to pull somebody else over.
Okay, sir. Turn it anyway.
That's fine, but man, you're escalating the situation. All I did was ask for the CAD number, sir.
You can ask him. Now all of a sudden it's sir now.
Officer Head, all I did was ask for the CAD number, and you immediately went to, oh, you want to be like that?
Yeah.
I wished I was recording when you said that.
But it's okay.
Because like all of a sudden, because I asked for a CAD number, it's not right.
Do they have video?
He says he's been video recording. We'll find out. But now I can't move because he's saying that in this day and time, well, he's gotten me scared. Just because I got out of my car, he's got me scared. Hey, can I get your name and badge number first?
Yeah.
I started recording because let me get
Lieutenant Ward.
let me get everybody's name. Lieutenant Ward and badge number.
Well, we don't have badge numbers. We don't have badge numbers, but my identification number is 93.
93. Okay, and what's this officer? Officer, what's your
Hang on.
Let me get his name and badge
Who?
number too. This other guy here. I've already got his, but this other guy that walks up.
The other man who just walked up.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be Chief Burton.
Okay, Chief Burton. Okay. Chief Burton.
They don't get no higher.
All right, so here's what happened.
Okay.
I may or may not have run a stop sign.
Okay.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah, well,
but what happened was he pulled me over. He pulled up in here, and he come up, and I started to get out because I was going in to eat with my wife and my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And he immediately starts barking orders at me to get back in. And this other guy who's a trainee looked like he was, I don't know what he was doing, but he looked like, and so all of a sudden I started getting a little nervous. I was like, well, it's okay. He'll be up here in a minute. Yeah. He came up. He said, you know why I pulled you over? And I said, no. He said, well, you run a stop sign back here on 32nd Avenue or whatever, with 30, whatever. I said, well, I'm not aware I ran a stop sign. He said, well, I'm telling you ran a stop sign. I said, well, if you say I did, then I guess I did.
Fine.
That's fine. So whatever. So he's going to write me a citation.
That's right.
But when he comes back, I said, well, can I get the CAD number? Well, that immediately he went, the call-in number. There's a call-in number when you do an incident, like there's an incident number, a call-in number. Because I'm gonna request all the body footage. I'm gonna request the car footage of the stop. But here's what happened after that, just so you'll be aware.
Yeah.
I asked him that, and he immediately said, "Oh, well, you're gonna be like that." Immediately, we went to 10 because I asked for a CAD number. He said, "Oh, you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be one of those." Well, then I said, "Well, what's the deal?" I said, "You're gonna give me a citation, Craig." He said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you a citation, but you need to speak to my supervisor now." And I said, well, that's okay. I'll speak to your supervisor. Okay. And I said, well, can I get out while we wait on him? He said, no, you can't. And I said, wait a minute. Am I being detained or am I free to go? He said, well, you're not being detained. I said, well, then if I'm not being detained, I'm free to go. I'm free to get out of my car also. And then he's like, well, sure. And he opens my door up. And then immediately I said, well, can I get that CAD number? And I can't remember exactly how the conversation went from there because I got scared because then he starts barking orders at me that in this day and time, you need to back up, don't come at me. And I'm like, I asked you if I get out of my car, you help me open my door.
Right.
I just want the CAD number so that I can request the footage of the car that shows me running the stop sign if that exists. Also, his body cam footage of when I asked for that CAD number, and he's like, "Oh, he immediately went to, oh, you're one of those." Like, what does that mean? that's discriminatory. That's, stereotyping. That's putting me in a certain, oh, you're one of those. And so I started getting fearful for my life because of the way he started escalating the situation. He put his hand on his gun. I'm getting a little nervous at this point.
Right.
Because I'm just a citizen that supposedly just run, I'm not saying I did, but supposedly just run a stop sign. And now all of a sudden you're going to what? You're going to want to put me down because I asked for a CAD number? And so then he calls the chief and he calls you out here.
Well, now
he's emotional.
he didn't call the chief. Chief just heard it on the radio, and he just heard him.
I just wanted the incident number so that when I do a FOIA, because I'm going after I get through eating lunch, I'm going to do a FOIA, and I know it'll take a few days.
What?
A Freedom of Information Act request. I'm going to request the public information of the footage of this stop from that car and his body footage, and we'll see if I did or didn't run a stop sign and if there's anything there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But he immediately escalated. He immediately went to a 10 from a 1 to a 10.
Sure.
And I started feeling fearful.
Okay.
And then my wife walks up, and I guess she's filming, but she's like, hey, calm down a little bit. And I'm like, I'm fearful for my life because this guy went from a 1 to a 10. He helped me out of my car, and then all of a sudden he's telling me, don't approach me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, look, I need to record this because you're escalating. I was like, please de-escalate. He said, don't talk to me about de-escalating. I'm calm. And I'm like, look, dude, all I want is the CAD number so I can go down here and do a Freedom of Information Act and ask for his body footage and the footage of the stop. If I ran a stop sign, I ran a stop sign. I'm not perfect. I get it. Yeah.
But all right, now let's get back to this. All right, now first of all, we don't have cameras in our patrol unit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you got body cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But as far as the car camera, there is no car camera. Now, as far as the CAD call number, right now,
Yes, sir.
our system has gone down for maintenance. So our dispatch is having to put everything on pen and paper. Now, when that system comes back up, they will have to input all this information into the system, and then the system will generate the CAD number you're talking about. But right now, I have no idea what that number is going to be because our system is down for maintenance.
Right.
It's an IT thing. It goes down about once every quarter, and they're doing some work on it. So the system's down for that. So that's going to be why I can't give you a CAD number. If I could, it's very simple. All I got to do is walk back to my truck, and I can give you the CAD number.
Okay. So how about
the system is down, so
how about,
I can't give that.
So how about this? When I get through eating here, I'm gonna come to the police station because I don't have to be anywhere till 2 o'clock.
A what?
I don't have to be anywhere till 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been to the doctor this morning. All right. I don't have to be anywhere till 2 o'clock. I'm gonna get that number today.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Tell you what, if you give me your name and number, I'll call it to you. I call you and give it to you. I mean, that's no problem. I can do that. What's that? That's your number. Okay.
When you say CAD, you mean the case number?
Call-in number, the case number. Whatever. Some people call it different things, but it's a case identification number.
Yeah. That's all it is.
It's
that's all
call-in.
He gave you his name?
He didn't want to. He was kind of a little bit hesitant, but he did. He did. And he gave me his number. At first, he didn't want to. But what happened, Chief, I don't know if you were here for the first part of it, he went from a 1 to 10 when I asked for the CAD number.
I heard that part.
Yeah. And that's what got me concerned. Like if I run a stop sign, I'll pay the ticket. It may hurt my pocket a little bit, but I'll pay the ticket if I did.
He's a new officer. I'm
not. But here's my thing: when somebody asks you for a CAD number, that's not a reason to go from 1 to 10.
I mean,
his exact words were, "Oh, you're one of them." That means y'all have had some sort of training. I wasn't even recording at that point.
Well,
but it was you're one of those.
It's an interaction.
It's an interaction.
It's an interaction with somebody.
So guess what? I'm probably going to do at this point. I'm probably going to record all of it because he made me feel fearful. Probably going to come down there and I'm going to do a request at the police station for him, whoever was in the car, that trainer. I'm going to get that information. I'm going to find out if there was or wasn't body cam footage. And then I'm probably going down here to the city hall and I'm going to do a Freedom of Information Act down there for everybody's salaries. I'm going to get some information because then I'm going to use that information.
I got you.
Because that's what that information is for. I just don't feel like.
Did he give you the ticket?
Yeah, he gave me the ticket. He didn't.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Well, what you got? I'm gonna head out.
Yes, sir.
But what he said to me when he pulled me over, he said, you know you run the stop sign back there in 30 seconds. I said, no, I didn't. He said, well, I'm telling you right now, that stop sign's been on the news and everything else. And that's the stop sign that we're watching, and you're getting a ticket because you ran it today. Almost to make me feel like he just gave me that ticket just because I came through that stop sign and I was alone in my car. And he decided that I was the one that was going to get a ticket, whether I ran it or not.
Well, I don't think he's that kind of guy. We don't have them kind
Well,
of people.
he's the kind of officer to say, to say, well, you're one of those. So you see what I'm saying? He's not painting a good light on the police department. Look, I got a lot of friends that are police. I'm not the kind of person to go around and get up in your face with a camera and go, I'm going to agitate you. But I got fearful for my life because he's got his hand on his gun and you're one of those is what he said to me. And I said, I need to record this at this point.
You know, as far as the hand on the gun thing, wait a minute, hold it. I need that. That was my notes. I'm sorry, I handed the wrong thing. Because this is my notes, so I can go in and look.
Yeah.
As soon as I get the system back up, is this your number here? Where is it?
Yeah,
That's your cell number?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
my cell number. I give you my cell number. That's my other number. My cell number is 20. Yeah. At this point, I'm just asking y'all if y'all will train him a little bit and going from 1 to 10 like that. That was
And I have to be cautious of it myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because here's the deal. You know, we got all this stuff on us. It gets heavy. And, you know, if I'm standing there talking instead of hand movement, some people talk with hands, some people don't. Yeah. I kind of do, but I try to keep it. I try to rest it somewhere. And so this hand just normally goes here. It's nothing against you. I know how it appears, and I try to be conscious of it, but sometimes I'll just, I guess out of, you know, lack of any other way, habit, out of habit, I'll do that. I mean, I've even talked to Chief and I've done that. But what I'm saying is sometimes that kind of turns into a habit, years of habit. It's nothing against you, nothing about that. And I don't mean it, you know, in a threatening manner. But I try to.
But I
try to be mindful.
My thing with him is how we got there is the problem.
Yeah.
If he just did that out of habit, because I get it, I open carry. I'm not open carrying today, but I open carry. I conceal carry.
I don't have a problem.
I'm neither one. And sometimes I'll stick my hand.
I'm one of those that, you know, I believe everybody ought to have a firearm. And if you can legally have one, I don't mind. I don't mind that. That does. Some people get upset about that.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that, hey, I'm a firm supporter of it. Now, I don't.
Oh, sorry. So my problem
I don't want to get. I'm not going to push an argument. I'm not going to push a problem or anything. You know, own somebody that opens carries. Now,
but my whole point with that was sometimes I rest my hand on there.
Yeah.
But
now,
we didn't get there.
You know, you'll do this now.
But how we got there?
If you're doing that,
how we got there?
To have somebody approach and try to take it from you.
How we got there was I asked him for the CAD number, and he immediately went to a 10.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And then he puts his hand on his gun. He's at a 10. You can tell he is agitated by his voice. He was yelling at me. He started backing up, and he helped me out of my car.
I'm in a different car.
Yeah, she's in a different car.
Okay.
I was by myself.
Together.
This is my wife.
I
was meeting him here to eat.
Okay.
But see, that's why he went to a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Well,
and when he went to that 10, that's why I picked up and started recording, because at that point, if I get shot, at least it's recorded.
Well, I mean,
because with that officer, the way he was acting, I was fearful of it. Because he told me not to take another step toward him. I'm not even armed. I asked him if I could get out of the car.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Now,
we got to a 10. That's how we got there.
We like for people. She's back.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit. You know. We want people to stay in their car on traffic stops because.
But I didn't realize I was on a traffic stop.
Yeah.
So I was going in to eat. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got back in when he told me to get back in. I didn't want to get shot.
Get back in. But
I mean, I'm not here to get shot. I'm here to eat.
You know, it really, and I've had this discussion. I've been, we train people, and we look at both sides of the spectrum on this thing, routinely we like people to stay in the car, because if they're outside the car and they start wandering around, using maybe not the proper term, but their movement outside the vehicle, they start drifting over here. I'm trying to do one thing. I may be trying to issue a ticket. I may be trying to run a tag number, driver's license, make sure everybody's up and current, and the person is out moving around. Well, that takes my mind and focus, and I'm trying to do. If I know he's sitting in the car, I just got to watch that.
Yeah.
If he's out here, I got to wonder what's in that car.
Yeah.
I got to watch him, plus do everything.
Hey, I
else.
get your job's
So
dangerous.
it puts me in a
I get your job's dangerous.
in a very delicate situation. If I have the person stay in their car, then it limits what all I've got to watch.
I get your job's dangerous, but can you explain one thing to me before you do?
Sure.
Where's 32nd Street?
Now, 32nd Street runs parallel with 82. It's going to run behind where we're at here.
Yeah.
From Main Avenue, and it comes out down here where.
But he said I ran a
gas
stop
station
sign on
is. There's
32nd.
There's
Several stop signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Let's
several
see,
stop
let's
signs.
see. Let's see here. It's your ticket again.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Which stop
Yeah.
sign was it? Because he said 32nd. I could have been any of them. And then he said he had to catch up to me.
Yeah. He's got to catch up to you. Now what he told me, he said that he didn't.
He didn't immediately turn his lights on.
No.
He didn't something.
He didn't. You didn't realize he was behind you.
Because I was paying attention to the traffic in front of him.
Yeah, you was paying attention to traffic, and more than likely he did not. Now I'm just shooting in the dark on it. More than likely he didn't even hit a siren. Well,
I'm gonna tell you something. I just went to the doctor because I'm having hearing problems.
Yeah.
And I got a meeting with the ENT. I may be losing my bus driving job because I may be losing my hearing. I know that has nothing to do with this stop.
Yeah.
But if he did hit his siren, I wouldn't have heard it.
Yeah. Well,
okay. The only reason I'm hearing you right now is you're on my left side.
I'm on your good side.
That's actually, I'm hard of hearing than that. I've been hard of hearing since I was born.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But he said 32nd Street. Does this clarify which 32nd Street?
Well, that's what I was looking for. If it was a cross street.
He didn't give us 32nd
near 32nd. Okay, 32nd Avenue. That's going to be that stop sign right back here.
Second stop sign, not this one. The third stop sign I stopped at. So it's not the. What I'm getting at is not this stop sign on the 82.
No,
it's not the stop sign down the hill from 82.
Okay, yeah, you come out here.
It's not that stop sign.
Right on Main Avenue.
It's neither one of those two stop signs.
No, it's a stop
it's
sign
this one right back here. I stopped at that stop sign.
It's a stop sign back there.
I stopped at that stop sign. The only one I had a question that I may not have stopped at was this one coming on to 82. I'll be honest and admit that. All right. Well, that's a yield sign, so I'm good there. And down there at the bottom of the hill
is the one you took a right onto Main Avenue. Apparently, you're good on that one.
Yeah.
But for some reason or another,
maybe it was just my day.
Well,
because that's what he said.
See, all right. Let me.
That's what he told me when he said you're one of those.
Well,
in other words, I'm going to question the officer. Right. And he was in charge, and he was giving me a ticket, whether I broke that law or not, whether I stopped at that stop sign or not, because he knows, was he recording body footage?
Right.
He doesn't have a dash cam. He can say whatever he wants, and it's his word against mine. And guess what? The city down there is going to take his word over mine.
Well, no, you got to.
Regardless.
It's not the city. It's a judge.
Well, the judge. Yeah, you're right. The judge.
Judge Patterson. Now, I'll be honest with you.
I'm going to tell you,
I've written tickets.
Yeah.
To kids. And adults, both.
I'm fixing to tell you why I'm questioning this.
And they want to go to court with it. But that's fine. That's your prerogative. That's your right to go to court. And I've had the judge rule against me on those types.
You may tell you why I'm questioning this?
I've had a judge rule against me on a red light ticket. And my light was, but we're not going to get into that. All I'm saying is, judge ruled against me. He ruled in that guy.
And that happens. That happens. But I'm going to tell you why I question this one. I'm going to tell you why I question this one. And I'm going to tell you, frankly, why I question every ticket I've ever gotten from Northport. The last ticket I got, I don't know how many years ago it was, I was speeding on Mid-Larry. I want you to follow me because you're gonna know what I'm fixing to tell you. Because some cases got overturned because of it, even though I paid mine. I didn't fight it. There was a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. Yep. See, he already knows. It was 35 going.
I never ran it on
it was 35 going one way and 45 going the other way, and I was doing 45. And the ticket said I was doing 45 and a 35. Mr. Sanford's the one that wrote it to me, so Sanford wrote Sanford a ticket, and I didn't even question it. But then I got to looking at it one day when I drove by, and I said, "Wait a minute, why is it 45 going that way?" And it's because they did road construction, and he was sitting there trapping people, knowing that the speed limit was two different, set two different ways, two different directions, and he preyed on that. Okay, and so now I'm getting a stop sign ticket from the same police department that likes to trap people like that, and I'm going, "Wait a minute, I'd like a CAD number." I know you're not, because you're going to protect your own, and I get that.
Well, no.
But I'm just saying,
it's just that
did I run that stop sign?
I know a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And I don't kind of buy into that.
I know.
Now, am I going to say that we don't have somebody? If we find somebody out,
well, I'm fixing to tell you.
Now we'll weed them out.
Yeah.
We'll try to work with them, but in the end, we'll try to weed them out. Now, y'all got to go. You got to go. And I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll tell you this. When it comes to stop sign tickets,
it's my word against his.
Stopping,
it's
the
subjective.
tires have to, no, it's not subjective. Those tires have to stop rotating.
If he doesn't have a camera to say whether I did or didn't,
if that tire does not rotate,
I get it.
If it does not stop a rotation, then the vehicle is not stopped.
I also know if you stop in front of that white line, you run the stop sign too. I get that.
Technically,
maybe that's what I did. I don't know.
Yeah, if you cross that line, then
I just feel like you picked on me today.
Legally, you run that stop sign. You run that red light.
Yeah.
If your tires do not stop rotating, whether a line is there or not, it's irrelevant. If your tires do not stop rotating, that's not stopping, is it?
Yeah. No.
Or are you still moving?
Here's what I'm gonna say to you.
Your tires can still keep moving as long as they're in motion. Is that a stop or is that a movement?
Here's what I'm gonna say to you, because he mentioned to me that stop sign has been on the news. It's the most talked about stop sign in the county. Because he said that to me leads me to believe that he gave me that ticket simply because that stop sign was on the news and I was the only car coming through that stop sign when he was sitting there, and he decided today is this guy's day, whether he stopped or not, because he's going to go down here and try it. He's not going to fight it. He's going to go down here and pay it like everybody else does. That's the way I feel. Had he not said, well, that's the stop sign, because he asked me, he said, you know why I pulled you over? I said, I got no idea. That's what I told him. He said, well, you run a stop sign. I said, I don't think I did. He said, well, I'm telling you, you did. And then he proceeds to tell me how that's the stop sign on the news. Right. That's exactly where it went. So in my mind, that's why I got a little agitated with him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm still worked up, because like he put his hand on his gun. I felt fearful for my life, and I'm still kind of shaking because of it, and I'm still a little elevated. And I know you're trying to de-escalate it, but I'm still.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but if he hadn't said,
your concern.
If he hadn't said that to me, if he hadn't said, oh, that's the one that's on the news, then I'd been like, I probably run a stop sign. But because he said that to me, I feel like he gave me a ticket simply because that's the one that's on the news, and you're getting a ticket today. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, that makes total sense.
All right, I'm going to go eat.
Understand where you're at.
Stay safe.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
And y'all have a good lunch.
Stay safe. And I'm sorry I got a little worked up.
Don't let this ruin your day.
Oh, my day was already ruined when I woke up because of my hearing. I'm not going to let this ruin my day.
No, Jesus woke you up, so it's a good day.
Jesus woke me up. That's right.
Go.
That's right.
That's right.
Have a good one.
All right. You have a good